It's the Al Travis Show. We're lucky to get him when we can get him. He's Todd Bergeth with Todd Freds, Todd and Souhan, and now he's with us. Todd, thank you for being here, my friend.
Yeah, you bet, Al. Good to join you.
Now, you have the Olympics. It's only 2 weeks long, and we missed last week with you. You an Olympic guy?
I am. I do enjoy the Olympics. I don't watch, bobsledding and skeleton, except for once every 4 years.
Yeah.
So then when it comes along, I do enjoy watching the other sports that we don't normally see that much. That may be available, but on other channels, that I don't really watch it. But when they're for your country, when they're skating or whatever they're doing for the United States, yeah, I'm all in. I watched a lot of that. My wife also enjoys, especially the Winter Olympics that she enjoys. So we watch quite a bit of it.
Well, and put it out there, because I presume we're roughly about the same age. I think the Olympics work for us because we are the 80s guys, right? We know where we were when the Miracle on Ice happened, and it got us all jazzed up. Do you think this might be the Miracle on Ice for this generation so they can be Olympic kids from here on out?
Well, we'll see about that. I think that particular team was so special, as we know, because it was a bunch of college kids and washed-up minor leaguers that beat the Soviet team that we knew was all a bunch of professionals. Yeah. Well, now it's our pros against your pros. It's best on best. And so I don't think it'll have the same warm the cockles of your heart. There's not a Herb Brooks story of bringing together a ragtag bunch. These guys are all multimillionaires. But I did enjoy how hard they played. You know, it's one and done kind of a thing, and that adds to it. But the U.S. team clearly wanted to win very badly that gold medal. They're tired of being little brother to Canada. It is Canada's national sport. It's their religion. It isn't in the United States. Yeah. So when the U.S. beats them, it's a big deal, and that's why it hasn't happened in so long.
But I think that Jack Hughes kid, knocked 2 teeth out, got his fists up in the air, and just praising God and country, after he gets the medal. I think that's just about as iconic as you can get. You and I know the 80s team, a lot of great stories, of course, the coach and all. We got that. But this kid is made for television. This kid is the Wheaties. They're making the Wheaties boxes now, I'm guaranteeing you. Wheaties boxes are printed.
The photo of him with the smashed out teeth, a little blood in his mouth, and the gold medal and the U.S. flag draped over his shoulder. I mean, it's you're right. In terms of those images and so forth, yes. It's the same. Will it inspire kids to now play hockey? I don't know. We'll have to see about all that. Will it inspire young guys to maybe want to play for the U.S. Olympic team? Sure. Those that are already involved in the sport, I think that'll have an effect. And, the Wild guys were terrific in the Olympics, too. Quinn Hughes is just, a top-notch defender, and Brock Faber and Boldy had the first goal in the gold medal game, and it was really a terrific goal, so they did well also.
I'm no hockey mind. I mean, I'm 4 years in. I'll watch the Wild as they get closer to getting the playoffs. I'll watch. Yeah. I don't know that I've seen that kind of stick handling in a game that big ever. I'm a golfer. You're a golfer. You try to do the bounce the ball on your 9-iron, right? You bounce it up and down a couple, but your feet are flat on the ground. Mm-hmm. This kid's skating at 35, 40 miles an hour. I don't know what you're skating at. And he's popping that thing up like he's, flipping pancakes or something to get by 2 defenders. Is that normal in hockey?
I've seen it. It takes an extreme amount of skill, as you just referenced, and then a lot of guts to try that type of maneuver in the Olympics with the others guys being the Canadians who, let's face it, they probably controlled a larger portion of the game than the United States did, but that's not how you win hockey games. You win by scoring goals, and then it made it 2-1. We should probably maybe talk about the whole 3-on-3 thing, too, to decide the gold medal. But yeah, amazing skills by Boldy and Faber. Faber had a double banger, or we aren't going to overtime. Yeah. He hit 2 posts with one in the gold medal game, too.
So let's talk a little bit about the game itself. Canada said, we are the better team that day. Again, not a great hockey mind, but I watched the Slovakian game the game before, and Canada was about on 3 times the speed as Slovakia. It looked like they had an extra player on the field the whole time. I mean, I was like, what is going on here? It was a whole nother speed. I don't disagree they might have been the better hockey team. You look at the paper and you look at their speed, but that's not how hockey works. Your goalie stands up, you get a couple of things, you win. That's just whining, isn't it?
It is. Nope. I was surprised at how poorly they took the loss because they believe that they are the the greatest hockey country in the world. And let's face it, what else does Canada have?
Well, see,
where they can play?
You hit it on this. You hit on this. That's their only sport. I don't even know what else they do. Duck hunting. I have no idea. They got that and nothing else.
Yeah.
In America, what's America? Is that maybe our fourth sport? Football, obviously,
maybe.
Basketball, baseball.
Well, it's football. But you got to break it down. Not just football. You got to say pro football, and then college football is number 2.
Yeah,
and then you've got the NBA probably is ahead of the NHL in terms of viewership and overall dollars and contract values. Major League Baseball is probably also in there. So probably 5th, the United States.
Yeah.
But I mean even at large, as a whole, as a country, not just taking it down to the microcosm of sport.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of maple syrup and hockey players, where else would Canada say that they might have the best in the world, whereas the United States?
But that's what makes this so special, right? This isn't even our jam, but we won the men's and the women's. Take it, Canada. Boom.
That's right.
That's what makes us. Anyway, the other thing you mentioned was the 3-on-3. Personally, I enjoy the format. I was scared to death that whole time. They were that much faster than us. You have that much more ice. I go, this can't be good. But boy, I'll tell you, maybe hockey should be 3-on-3 all the time. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they do in the regular season for overtime, but they don't once the playoffs start. Then it's let's play hockey.
Yeah.
For me, it's not the game. I mean, not the game we watched. That was we enjoyed every second of 60 minutes, and now we change the rules completely. We take 2 guys off the ice, and how do you call penalties at that point? And it's so wide open that guys are skating 15-second shifts because they're going up and down the ice so quickly. So I think it's kind of gimmicky for the gold medal game. I totally understand throughout the Olympics, but all the way when you finally get to do the championship, and those guys, I know they have to travel and so forth. That's why they played at 2:00 in the afternoon in Italy, made it 6 a.m. here in Arizona. So kind of an early start time. But I don't like changing it for the gold medal game. I want to see the Plus team win. That may have given Canada the advantage in that situation, but I wasn't a fan of going 3-on-3 there.
Right. That's fair enough. The other thing we should talk about that people I think just got lost is the Americans. This is back to the other Hughes brother, the Minnesotan.
Yep.
The American team stopped 18 power plays. In that game, they had a 5-on-3. They didn't let a goal go in. The power play defense was off the charts.
Yeah, no doubt, and that's where Hughes helps the Wild so much.
Yep.
And then Quinn, and then he adds the offensive abilities too. He had 3 assist games. He had 5 of them in his first 26 games or whatever it was.
Yep.
Matching the Wild club record, and he did it in 26 games. Yeah. Ryan Suter had 5 3-assist games in his whole time with the Wild. He's the previous record holder. I don't think he's gone past it yet because of the Olympic break game. But he's a terrific player. Yes.
All right. We've got to go to break because I want to talk a little bit. I know you do the whole thing with Souhan, and I'm actually a big Souhan fan, to be quite frank with you. But he wrote an article today which is kind of summing up where I'm at with our Minnesota Timberwolves. I want to talk about that with Todd Bergeth. We'll do that right after this on the Al Travis Show. Stick around. A lot of good stuff to come. It's the Al Travis Show, and we're lucky to have him, Todd Bergeth, on the program. He does Todd and Friends and Todd and Souhan, and I read Souhan all the time. I don't know who doesn't. But today he hit a chord with me because he kind of put together the stuff that I've been kind of whining about with my Minnesota Timberwolves. They did it again, won 3 games in a row. They come up against a decent Sixer team that did not have Joel Embiid or Paul George. You're like, all right, well, we're going to lose Gobert and Reed. Gobert's our own fault, technical foul problem. But overall, you're thinking that's a plus for us. We have the better team on the court, and we didn't show up. We got blown up by 27 points. Just your thoughts on that team and, again, not showing up sometimes. And we'll talk about what Souhan said about Edwards.
Yeah, it's tough to watch at times. I'm going to continue to, I'll die on this hill that I don't care that much about the regular season until the postseason. But no question, and Jim pointed it out, that even though Ant is averaging over 29 points and shooting better than 40% from the floor, and there's only been 5 previous guys that have done that for an entire season. It's happened 6 times. Steph Curry did it twice. But the other names are LeBron, Michael, and and Larry Bird.
Yep.
So there's very few that have done that, so he's in rarefied air. At the same time, and we've talked about this before, and you were kind of more keen on it at the beginning than I was, and then Rudy spoke up, which I think is going to wind up being a positive, actually. I want to talk about that a little bit, too. But, yeah, and he sometimes – his body language is not good. It's the shoulders are kind of down, and he's standing flat-footed when he's not the on-ball defender. And sometimes when he is the on-ball defender, he gets beat laterally, which he should not if he's really into it, because he's as quick as anybody on the floor, despite his size. So and Jim's column today, and it was about that, and that even though Edwards is having this terrific season, maybe the best of his career, they still need more, and that doesn't come on the production end. It comes on the attitude end.
And the idea that if you're the superstar, you got to push people and say, hey, we're picking this up, and do it by example. I just thought Souhan wrapped it up. I just said, that's the problem. And whether it was Rudy thinking he was going to do it by, spouting off or not, I don't know. But that is the problem with this team. One guy starts slacking, and it's like it catches fever. It's like the flu. Everybody's got it.
Especially when it's off your top guy.
Yep.
But it's funny that you would mention that, because I talked to Jim today about his column a little bit. And he said Anthony Edwards is kind of two different guys. He's regular season Anthony Edwards, which he's complaining about now a little bit and saying he needs to do more. And then there's playoff Anthony Edwards, which doesn't do this type of thing, at least not nearly as blatantly or obviously or frequently. If it does happen, it's rare. And so he thinks that we hope that's the guy, but we shouldn't have to wait for that. It should happen.
Well, I think his comparisons were if Ant wants to be Michael Jordan too, right?
Yep.
You never said that about Michael Jordan in the regular season. Jordan was mad every time he lost. He wasn't going to accept a loss that he could change. That's what the really greats do. You can be really good, but the greats don't take that.
That's right. No question about that. He has some maturing to go. We've watched him play for so long. It seems like he should have gotten it by now. Even though he's only 24, we say, well, sure, but it's his sixth season in the NBA. He has hundreds of games under his belt. Thousands and thousands of hours of work with Finch and preparing his game and his mind and body to get ready to play. And we still see too frequently games where he's not putting out the whole time he's on the floor.
All right, one last thing, if I can, quick before we go. The NBA is going to have a problem. They've got about the 4 or 5 best players in the league. May not make the 65-game minimum to get the awards at the end of the year, like MVP and that sort of thing. Is that number too high? And I'm sitting thinking to myself, that's like 2/3 of the games. You should play 2/3 of the game if you want to be in.
Yeah.
But if Ant's like 5, 6 on that list, he's got the most games he could still miss. If Ant got it because 5 other guys ahead of him got disqualified, is that the same? What do you sit on that?
It's an interesting question. This is one of the rules they implemented to try and combat a problem that's very widespread in the NBA, and that's load management. Thank you, Greg Popovich. He's the one who came up with this. And now they have so many years of load management. They've run a statistical analysis, and they've shown that it does not keep players healthier by skipping games every so often. There is no empirical evidence that it actually helps them. Yeah. So they've just gotten it implemented into their culture because they want to take a game off once in a while. It seems weird. This wouldn't be there. And if a guy has had a legitimate injury, he winds up at 64 games, as you referenced, and he just clearly is the best player. Let's say it's the Joker because he's missed time this year with injury. Yeah, that doesn't seem right. But the players kind of force the NBA's hand to come up with something like this. The players and coaches and general managers of teams, there also is influence there. It's not the players saying, I'm not playing tonight necessarily, although we know they're fine with it a lot of times. They had to do something to try and combat that. So this is what they came up with a few years ago. Everybody knows it's in place. Others might say, well, it could create a situation toward the end of the year where a guy plays when he shouldn't because he wants to get to that 65 games. Because MVP voting and all that, too, that figures into their clauses, their bonuses, where they can be in terms of salaries for the max individual contracts that can receive, so forth. It is a big deal. It is a solution to a problem that created another problem.
Yeah, that seems the way we run into stuff. I think people just kind of know. This is like a two-man race, in my opinion, for MVP, but we got to go. I'm out of time.
Yep.
Todd, you know I love having you on. I thank you for taking the time to do this with me every week.
Thanks, Al.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Todd Bergeth on the Al Travis Show. Find him at, what is it, Wilmer Radio, right?
KWLM.com.
KWLM.com. I appreciate you, my friend. He's Todd Bergeth. More after this.